live? Question mark. I am live. Sweet. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the very first podcast from TNL. You're very, I don't even know what I'm doing with this intro. This is gonna be a hot garbage stream. Alright, who's ready for a hot garbage TNL podcast? New name. Yeah. Yo, you won't get any hot garbage like this. Okay. Well, I'm already doing it. Also, I didn't say this in the, okay. I didn't say this in the new light ministry service, but I want to say thank you for the follows, Soto, Pump Pan, and From Yesterday 64 that y'all can see on the screen, like right there. Um, so I appreciate the follows, even though you may not chat or maybe not even watch this or be in the VC. But welcome to the first podcast. I have been struggling with finding what to do and kind of stressing. As you can definitely notice by looking at me, I'm definitely 100% not nervous whatsoever. We're going to talk about greedy gaming companies. Ooh, a very, 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 very fun topic. And Jinxie is here too, so say hi to Jinxie. It is something that you'll find out. And we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off by talking the latest game, Cyberpunk 2077. When I was talking about hot garbage podcast, that game is hot garbage too. um, especially yes, the game. That's what I was saying. um, I was honestly kind of hyped for it a little bit. I was honestly knowing what this game was going to be, how it was going to be. And then as time goes on, as maybe most of you have maybe seen on the internet, the bugs, multiple, even when it comes to game breaking and you have to reload your own file. And they pulled out a apology video, a bullcrap apology video. They did not start working on the game in 2016, but they released it and show a little teaser with that little gunshot. That was in like 2013, and they didn't start working on it in 2016. Bullcrap, you know. So and then they try to fix out the bugs by saying like we got these line up with these patches. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it better. Every time they fix it, there's something a new bug. Did they even test this game out? Probably not, because you know what they care about? They want that Gucci. They want that money. They want to go woo. That's what they want to do. They just want to make bank. Forget about quality. Shoot that out the window. We made Witcher 3. That was good quality, right? So everybody wants to love Cyberpunk. You know what I think they did? I think they pull a Todd Howard. That's what I think they did. I think they pulled a Todd Howard. And if you don't know what I mean by that, you should know what Fallout 76 did. That's a Todd Howard, and this is the same thing in what they're doing. Now, granted, they are trying to fix it, but when a game is like so broken, especially when it comes out to release, because like most of these games that you see already has like a day one patch, unfortunately. You know, day one patch. Call of Duty, day one patch. Assassin's Creed, day one patch. It's like you should have tested this game before you even release it. And now, since they're like almost every time saying like, oh, we'll make the game, far off in the future, fine, like No Man's Sky. Bullcrap at first. Game was terrible, awful. Now is actually worth the visit. And some people say like it's okay to release your stuff at hot garbage levels because so and so it'll get better over the years. Bullcrap. That should never be okay. I don't care what anybody says. That shouldn't be okay, right, Jinxie? Yeah, it shouldn't be okay in the first place. Never, 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 never should be okay in the first place. Have you played Cyberpunk or know about Cyberpunk, Jinxie? Have you at least seen videos on it? Okay. Well, there are the PS4 and Xbox One versions are broken. The Cyberpunk 2077 has been removed from the PlayStation Store because of how broken the game is. Like it is that bad. It got removed from the PlayStation Store. That's how bad we're talking about here. Like reloading graphics where it has to refix itself. Vehicles going anywhere. AI doesn't work properly at all. Period. You get like where the game just froze and you have to reload back to your last official load save because it broke your game. Like the PC was decent versions from what I heard. PCs were, you know, they were mixed, but they were better than PS4. They were better than consoles, unfortunately, especially last gen. And a lot of people got ticked off. And yeah, and people and gaming companies think that's okay to do that, and that's why we're starting to see in games more and more throughout the years saying like, oh, it's okay if we release hot garbage. You know, it is okay because over time it will get better. Why not have it better at the first instead of trying to patch it and fix the mess that you broke in the first place? Like games wasn't like that back then. I mean, there was glitches, and stuff like that, but not like game breaking bugs. You know, let's talk. Let's gaming companies, right? Cdprojectred. I don't know if they will ever come back from this. Because this could be. I think this is the worst video game history in anything that you could possibly come up with. And video game companies have gone down a hole. There are some good gaming companies out there. Um, but one that I love dearly to my heart, especially as a kid, every time I see that logo, I'm like, I'm getting that game. That game will be mine. It will be mine. And that's Konami. Castlevania games, love them. Symphony of the Night, best game ever. Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2 was a great horror game. Great. The Conch, yeah, the Contra games. Love them. Love them. The Metal Gear Solid. Love them. And then they start went down the drain. And how did this go forward? Because Kojima left and made Death Stranding. Death Stranding has met with mixed reviews for what it is. Because he tried to get some ideas from the Silent Hills that got canceled. And tried to get some of those ideas to make like a new IP. So I don't know what's in the future for Kojima Productions right now. But as Konami, as a standpoint, it seems like they're done. And you might be thinking, oh, they'll never be done with developing games, yada 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 yada. But they still might be publishing games. No. When's the last Castlevania game did we get? Think about that. When's the last Castlevania get? Like Lords of Shadows back on the PS3? Okay then. When's the last Contra game we got? Oh, it's that stupid bullcrap Contra for Nintendo Switch. That was garbage. Oh, when's the last Metal Gear Oh, that was Metal Gear Survive. How did that did well for Konami? How well did it do for Konami? Did that game did well? No. Made it to like a 2009 Zombies game with putting in the high tech graphics that they could. And they're changing this because they think, oh, people don't want to buy your games. We do want to buy your games, Konami, but you Konami, don't want to make it and don't want to put in the effort. Shame on you Konami. I used to love you when I was a child. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, great game, great arcade, classic. Castlevania Aerosara, classic. These good games, like you mentioned the compilations of games, the Contra compilation, Castlevania compilation, cool. Yay! Did you want a cookie with that, Konami? Did you want a cookie? No, you're not making any new games. Get out of here. Like you've been digging yourself a hole and making the game company, their employees, work like crap and treat them like crap. So like, oh, like let's say for instance, let's say you're working, like, okay, you and your friend got a job, okay, and your friend quit because of reasons. Who knows what those reason is? And he posted something on Facebook. And let's say you go ahead, you're still working at that job, and you like and you like the post. And you know what that gaming company do? Here we go. You're getting demoted just from liking a post. That's how Konami treated their employees. They did not care. All they care was about money. That they were go again back to the thing, money. This is where gaming companies care more about money than the quality of games. Like money is fun, it gets you, and especially when you're trying to be independent, especially during pandemic times, that is understandable. But you don't need a lot of money to live off of. You're being too greedy. Like us, like me, I don't have a job, but I'm still able to do kind of the stuff that I want to do. I don't need money to be able to do stuff. Like, yes, money is nice. But you know what is nice? The quality of games. And you know who makes good quality games? Nintendo. Even though they may jack their price up, like the Mario Collection, the 3D All Stars, just bumping it up to that, like it was quality. Like Nintendo has always been good with quality games. Every time you see that Nintendo logo, even though it may not, please to your eye, it's still good quality. Most of the majority of the time. Breath of the Wild, quality. When you're asking someone else and not me. Okay, if you're asking me, I will tell you that Breath of the Wild is hot garbage. But Super Mario Odyssey is quality. There's games, that are good quality. They barely have any game breaking bugs or they might have some glitches of some kind to maybe, speed up the game or something. Maybe you want to try to speed run it. But there's nothing that's like Cyberpunk levels where it just crashes your computer. Like I was hearing that. Cyberpunk crashing your computer. Like it was doing damage to you. And they were getting lawsuits. And they are vigorously fighting it, which is sad. So these gaming companies, and I'm sorry to mention this gaming company because they were doing so good until what I heard. Capcom. Capcom. What are their best known series for? Resident Evil. Who is a Resident Evil fan? Me. I don't think 2 and 3 remake, deserves a $60, maybe $30. But that's not the point. Their newest game, which looks amazing, looks fantastic. Um, like you need to play the demo. That's all I can say. Just play the demo. It will make you fall in love with the game. There's no concrete release date, unfortunately, but there is a limited edition, which gets you the statue of I think it's Chris, and you get like a little art book, and then you get the cloak. And how much is this limited edition? $1,800. You know how much that cloak is? And it's not even letter. $1,500 just for that. It is. And it's sad how these gaming companies are coming to be. Tell me, Jixie, name a gaming company that loves money more than quality that I have not mentioned yet. but they have EA. Let's talk about their stupid sports games. Hey, let's reuse the same graphics and not edit it, and someone just find it that is still the same game, and barely changing everything. And here, pay $60 for it. Oh, EA, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you? What are you doing? No, I'm saying EA. What are you doing? What were you thinking? That is too much. That is too much. Like I said, like greed is coming. Like I can like it's understandable during a pandemic time. It is. It really is. You know, understandable. Because we're in this pandemic, people, losing jobs left to right. But there is still a thing as in too much money. The rich are still getting paid more money than us being poor and don't even have a job. You know, it's becoming stupid. That quality should be the name thing. If you have a quality good game, people are gonna buy it, and people are gonna put like positive reviews on it, like The Witcher 3. Positive reviews, great game. Even though I haven't played it, I heard amazing, great things about it because that is quality. Though, like that's a quality game that is worth the purchase. Sekiro died twice. It may be a little hard game, but guess what? It's quality. It is quality. Despite of it having a big difficult setting in it, but the game looks beautiful. There's like no game breaking bugs. It still kind of work functioning. It won Game of the Year in 2019. So, like when you have a quality game, people are going to buy it. People are gonna look at it, but when you release a hot, steaming pile of garbage like Fallout 76, Cyberpunk 2077, and the list can go on and on. Or how about this? How about this? Let's talk about Xbox. Microsoft. Let's say they wanted to double up the Xbox Game Pass thing and double it to instead of paying $60 a month. Let's make you pay $120 a month. Oh, just to play, just to play game online. Hey, when you're on PC, all you have to do is pay for the game and the internet, and you can just play for it. You don't have to pay for another thing. Yeah, that's no, that's for a year. It's $60 a year, and they plan on double it. But 2 hours, Phil Spencer said, "We're sorry, we messed up." And I'm like, "Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Stop being greedy." Like, and it just gets me upset to see how these gaming companies are turning into, and it's hard to trust these gaming companies, especially when they're buying each other. You know, like Microsoft trying to buy Nintendo. I don't know if you saw that, but Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo. You know what Nintendo said? No. Maybe. Maybe. It's just sad to see, where the gaming industry is going into these days, and it's Like I said, it's understandable during the pandemic time, but it's hard, especially when you go down in deep rut and try to, earn fans trust. It is very, very difficult. Like I don't know what's like for example, I don't know what CD Project Red's going to do about this. They put out an apology video. Um, yes, and they they just said like we're gonna do some patches and we're gonna do a free DLC, and I was like, you need to focus on the game before free DLC. Okay, you need to but the game is just broken. It feels like it's broken beyond repair. And that's kind of what Fallout 76 is. And so far, it's coming out in positive, but game companies think that's okay when it's not okay. Like it is not okay to release a garbage game that you pay $60 for, or if you're buying a new console and like the new games now, they're $70 now. You want a PS5 game? $70. You want a new X? It's too much. Mm-mm. That's what I was saying about the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake. I don't think they deserve $60 because they were just sort of. I doubt Microsoft and PlayStation will ever be. Yeah, but it's just the power behind greed. That's where it all comes down to is greed, 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 greedy, 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 greed, 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 over quality. Like here at the TNL Ministry, this is a TNL podcast. We might change the name. Who knows? We might change everything. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. So, um, I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, greed is not a healthy thing. Period. We like when you're JC here, okay? That y'all hearing him live. He applied for staff. Yes, we do have staff position at TNL. He applied for media team, and here we want quality and not half baked or half hazard graphics because that is not going to look good. Period. Even though if you're good, okay. Like even when you're trying to improve it over time, it still doesn't like make up for what it was at first because we're still gonna remember what it was at first. Even though you may get it better over time, like No Man's Sky is probably a recommended game now. For it to be improving since 2016 maybe. So, but that's how long you should be working the game and not put it in beta mode for other people, players, spending money to test out your game when you should be testing it out yourselves. Instead, you're using fans to test out your own games instead of you testing it out, which is sad. Like to me, I try to test out everything that I do. Like this podcast, it may not be the best quality podcast. It may not be the funniest podcast. It might be the fairest boring podcast. It's probably boring. Y'all probably just stop watching and probably just whoa. Oh, I was listening to this podcast. Who is this dude? Hylian? Uh, wow! Alright, don't worry out. Alright. like I was going out the door. But anyway, um, like in the Bible, money. People will say money is the root of evil, which is still debatable. Depending on how it's depending on how you use the money. Like if you're using it for yourself and stuff like that, and using it to try to support others and supporting yourself, cool. But if you're just like bathing in money for God knows what, or just tossing out like nobody's business, then you have too much money, and you're probably greedy and happy with all that money. You're probably sleeping on golden bars. Yeah, they'll be fine with it because they're greedy. Greedy. There's nothing that comes out of greed. Nothing good comes out of it except for a lot of money. You know, which is not okay. Like some money is fine to an extent. Like like I said, when you put out a quality purchase, a quality thing, people will buy it. If you don't put something out that is not quality, no matter how, like cheap stuff or cheap brands. There's cheap brands of cola. There's something called Sam's Cola, cheap kind. Is it good? No. Do people still buy it? Yes. Because it's cheap. But the quality's in Coca-Cola because they're quality, even though the prices are up on it, but their drinks are quality. I can understand the purchase of cheap, but you always want to have quality products. Always, always, always. No matter what you're doing on any type of project that you're working on. If you're not a Christian, let's say you're not a Christian, let's say, Hylian, get that Bible crap out of here. Then you should at least agree that quality is better than money and being greedy over it. Like when you're working on a project, let's say you're working on something, let's say you're making a game using maybe Unity or Unreal Engine. It might be difficult first because you may not know what you're doing, but let's say you make a game and you're testing it out, yourself, and you may look for people to test out your game for you before you release it out to the public because you want a good game out in the public. You want your name to be recognized. You want good things to come from your name. You know, you don't want something that is bad from you, like how Konami was doing, EA, Cdprojectred. You want to put something out that is from your heart, and that's what you want to be able to do. And if y'all are still listening to this, I have officially run out of ideas of what to talk about. It's good. It's good. Um, Me trying to think of what to talk about. Um, how's everybody's day doing? I hope you're doing okay. I see nobody chatting in the chat. Um, what should I do? Ooh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Me actually trying to think of what to say. um, I didn't say these podcasts will go very well. It's just something new. You know, it is just something new to topics. I mean, I kind of said all the things that I wanted to say. Because I mentioned Konami, I mentioned Kojima, I mentioned the Xbox Ultimate Gold Pass or whatever it is. I mentioned Cyberpunk because yeah, I mentioned Hylian being a Hufflepuff. Yeah, chicken donut. Anyways, Jigsaw, what is there a video game that you was really hyped for, but it ends up to being hot garbage that you actually purchased and actually bought? And what game was that? Menfall Fly. I never heard of it. Switch it up. Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right. It's rude. Don't be rude. I probably have to say the game that I purchased. I don't know if I want to go far as to say it was hot garbage, but it took a while, and plus it was probably an old game, not when it was released. But I bought it on Steam as Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition, and I had so many issues just trying to get it run on a Windows 10 computer. So many issues. When there shouldn't be so many issues trying to run an old game. You would assume an old game can run since your graphics and CPU and all that can handle it. Obviously. Well, on GOG, from what I heard, I didn't purchase it on GOG, but they said they have no issues. But when you're buying it on Steam, you have to go through stuff in order just to get the game running. And that got me really frustrated, even frustrated for me, probably not even wanting to play the game, but I still stuck with it because it was a game that I kind of grew up playing ish, even though it came out in 2008, like a little bit over 10 years ago. So it's probably not that old, maybe. But you know, just buying stuff like that. But I would say if like a new game, I'm trying to think if there was like a new game that I purchased. Oh, Resident Evil 3 remake. I got disappointed. I got very disappointed because I feel like the games is same with the 2 remake. When I finally got it, um, like I feel like it was half baked. Both of these games. I feel like Resident Evil 3 was missing like half of its content, half of it. You know, yeah, on half of it. Like both of those games are short. Back in the day they were kind of short, but they don't deserve a $60 price point for what they are. And I just got disappointed, with it. But they included that stupid Resident Evil zombies things, Resident Evil Resistance. I didn't care for it. I never played it, but I heard terrible things about it. I just wanted to play the third remake. But that was like almost the last new game that I actually bought that I thought was extremely kind of hot garbage. And like Resident Evil 3 remake is okay for what it is. It's not game breaking. It's nowhere near. Don't take this as near levels to Cyberpunk levels. Okay, it's nowhere near to that amount, but it is very half baked. So just because it has good quality, it shouldn't be half baked quality. So That was kind of the last game that I could think of actually. Um. So JC, is there anything you want to talk about in the first TNL podcast? uh, Anything you want to talk about? Well, tell your computer to get good. Get good, computer. Just get good. That's all you gotta do. Just get good. I'm sick of your games, computer. Just get good. Just get good. My God. That's why I should. When I was going over the division series, talking about getting good. I was doing the division series, okay, and the last session I did it on Twitch like how I'm doing now, but like I said, my division people are stupid and make dumb decisions. And here is one of my dumb decisions recently. I forgot to enable the save past podcast, past streams. I forgot to have that feature enabled. So that video is poof and gone, and I was like, "Yay! I'm so excited." No, I'm not. I'm not really. I got disappointed. And I was like, okay, I did enable it, so this hopefully it will be there. Hopefully, hopefully it will be there. Hopefully, yeah, we did hope for it. Well, I want it to be there. I want it to be there. Yeah, help TNL podcast to strive and thrive. Like I said, I did want to try something new. I didn't promise it will go well. Yeah, it never hurts to try something. Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of game stuff, there is a rumor. I don't know if you ever played this game. Have you ever played Star Wars Knights Old Republic? Well, apparently there is a rumor of a revival of that game coming, and the EA. We were talking about game companies. They lost their Star Wars stuff, their IP to it. So someone else obtained the Star Wars from them. So EA cannot make any Star Wars game, period. How does that make you feel? Mm, I mean, I like the Lego Star Wars. That's probably about it. Yeah. What do you think of the scalping of the PlayStation 5s and Xboxes and selling it on eBay for double the price or triple it? Yeah, but yeah, because they're scalping it and selling it for a higher price, which is shouldn't be it. Saying like this, they're like there's supply and demand. I gotta there's that bull crap, bull floppity crap. And then they try to, and then not only that, when they were running out because people weren't buying it, they try to make the customers feel guilty and saying like, I need to pay for my child. My child has like cancer or something, and try to make some bullcrap excuses to make you pay a $1,500 for a PlayStation 5. Yeah, that was like way back in November where it was really difficult and scalpers were out there. They're trying to fix that issue still. Actually, they're trying to fix it. Maybe, maybe, but they're trying to restock without the scalpers getting a hold of it because they're using robots to be able to order and secure a bunch of PlayStation 5s or Xbox Series X. It's more the PlayStation 5s than this Xbox Series. Um, Nintendo Switch is better. I just like their exclusives. Like PlayStation does have a bit good exclusives. Xbox really, the only good exclusive that I really love from Xbox, and there's only two games in the series so far. Hopefully there will be three, and that's the Ori series, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Ori Will of the Wisp. That is a very very good franchise that I can really full actually stand back on. And usually I don't stand back on Xbox's high P's because I never care for Halo. I never care for Forza Horizon. Um, I'm forgetting other games that they made. Um, something something I don't care for. Gears of War, don't care for. Meanwhile, the PlayStation they have the Spider-Man, which is I heard the Miles Morales was like really good though. So they do have some good IPs, but I think the Switch has better IPs in my humble opinion. And that might be just because I'm a Nintendo fanboy, but that's just how I see it. Are you a Nintendo fanboy? You should try get a Switch if you can. Well, you should get one. No, understandable. Understandable. Make sure to get some good quality games. Oh my gosh. Minecraft, you can run Minecraft on a potato. Doesn't matter, it's still the same game regardless. I mean, it depends on how powerful the potato is. it, it just depends on how, beefy that potato is. Yeah. 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 Um, Question is, should we just end the podcast because I don't know what else to really discuss. Yeah, I just don't know what else to really say besides the gaming industries. And I don't, and only one person is watching it. I think that's just you. It's probably me. I have it on pause to make sure. Wow. Look at the support y'all giving me. Nice. Support highly and Hoofapoof. Please do. Well, if that's it, I guess I could just end the podcast. And maybe. I said maybe. 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 Okay, I guess we're actually gonna end it. Because I was just trying to think of maybe there's something else because I want to be able to keep these at least like an hour, maybe 10 minutes, maybe. But I don't want to dry it out or milk this podcast dry just to be able to get there. Um, for those who are listening or listening in the future, please respond to me how you feel about these podcasts. Are these podcasts are interesting? Are they boring? Can you just fall asleep to them? Um, is my voice like dry? Is there like some kind of maybe some pop rocks in my mouth? There might be. Sounds like there's pop rocks coming from my mouth. Okay. What was the thing? Oh yeah. Um, I appreciate your thoughts. Wherever or however you're listening to this. Um, we will come back to podcast number 2. If you want to be in that podcast, please let me know. I would love to have you in the podcast if you choose to be so. Also, if you want to be in, whether it's in the VC or on the stream, please let me know. Also, if there's any topics, you can submit your topics. Yes, we can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be scripture. It doesn't have to be Christianity all the time. We can talk about anything. Anything. We have we have imagination. um But yes, support these if you want to. If not, that's fine. Like I said, I'm just literally trying this and see where these podcasts go. I don't know. Do not take this as the official time and day for these podcasts because I have been kind of pushing it back due to life things happening that I'm not going to discuss. Yeah. It's hard to be able to try to find a set schedule for this. So don't assume that this will be every Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I can try to make that a habit, maybe, but part of me is thinking of maybe changing it to a different day and a different time, probably. Um, so just keep that in mind for future podcasts if you're listening to the end or not. And thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to the rambling and shenanigans of me and Jinxie rambling on about how Cyberpunk is hot garbage, how this podcast is hot garbage, how Konami is hot garbage, how's Hylian's hot garbage, how's Jinxie's hot garbage, everything's hot garbage. Include including you that are listening in. You are hot garbage. Take that as a compliment. Dingus. Yeah. But yeah, this will be the end. I'm sorry for cutting it a bit short. Like I said, I would like for these to at least be like an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and 20. Not like 50 minutes here. Um, and I don't want to just dry it out just to milk it. Because, like I said, I was just talking about quality. And if I were to do that, just sit here and just talk about random stuff, I feel like that's not producing the quality of this. And that will basically call me a hypocrite. when I was literally just talking about equality. So I don't want to be a Mr. Hypocrite. So with that being said, I wish y'all the best of luck, whatever y'all doing on this. No, I am not continuing to ignore you, bruh. Why you ignore me, bruh? Anyway, thanks for listening in to me and Jinxie. Say bye, Jinxie. And we will see y'all guys and girls in the next podcast. Bye, y'all.